But what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
In July, the Trump administration decided to get rid of PBS and CBB, two great networks that brought us good educational kids shows like Arthur, Reading Rainbow, Between the Lions, and decided to replace them with PragerU. PragerU is a highly conservative media company founded by these two men right here. That same media company put out a cartoon where Christopher Columbus, a man known for offing thousands of Indians and other atrocities so bad that his own government arrested him, said that slaves would have rather been slaves than to be killed. Not only did they try to justify slavery, but it is a well-known fact that slaves that knew what they were going to in America would jump off the boat and drown themselves because they would rather have been dead than be a slave. I wish I could post the whole clip on here without getting flagged because it gets worse the more he talks.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about a video that popped up in my feed titled PBS Replacement or History in the Spin Cycle. Now, on the surface, it looks like just another flashy commentary piece, but if you scratch beneath the surface, there's a lot to unpack, especially when it comes to how history and public broadcasting are being framed in America today.
Being a slave is worse than being killed, according to the university that Trump has partnered with to provide educational material at the White House. They're not trying to just revise history at the Smithsonian, they're trying to whitewash history everywhere, including in your kids' classrooms. See, Prager University is a far right-wing ideological educational platform that was hired to create the Founding Fathers exhibit at the White House. You know, to give history about the Founding Fathers. Like that the Founding Fathers were abolitionists who believed that slavery was evil and wrong, and the only problem with that nice bedtime story is reality. Not only did 41 of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence own slaves themselves, they also only counted enslaved persons as 3/5 of the person. They also tucked the slave trade clause and the fugitive slave clause right there into the Constitution. But it's not just at the White House. These lies are already being taught to children in schools in Florida, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arizona, Montana, and New Hampshire. In a year that the Trump administration cut all the funding from PBS, they hired this organization to teach kids.
PragerU is being called this administration's PBS replacement. But watch how these animated lessons justify harm to Native Americans, downplay the horrors of slavery, and radicalize protesters.
And the native people were far from peaceful.
But you just said the Taino were peaceful.
They pretty much are. But there are other tribes who aren't. Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
Eat people, see.
Whoa.
Right? Hey, all the things that are bad in the world I come from, jealousy, lying, murder, war, it all exists in the land I just found too. But in Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and human sacrifice.
Yeah, but what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
Columbus emphasizes cannibalism and human sacrifice and says the choice is between slavery or death. Notice what's missing? Freedom. Leave people alone.
How does it work?
Most wretchedly, people who've been forced into slavery by tribes in Africa are then sold to merchants from Great Britain and other countries.
William Wilberforce says Africans sold Africans. True, but here it's used as a deflection, shifting blame. Wording matters.
And I hate slavery too, but it's been a reality everywhere in the world. And even now in 1910, it's still happening in other countries. Despite our nation not always living up to our declaration that all men are created equal, I am still so proud and thankful to be an American.
Even though you were a slave?
Exactly, because I was, and not anymore.
We're really sorry that you have to deal with segregation and racism.
Your sympathy is nice, Layla, but know that you have nothing to be sorry about. You and Leo have done nothing wrong and have indeed been quite respectful. Future generations are never responsible for the sins of the past.
Booker T. Washington repeats the slavery happened everywhere theme, then quickly pivots into patriotism. The critique vanishes into pride.
Why is everyone so angry? Are they burning a car?
Slavery has existed everywhere in the world for thousands of years. Slavery was part of life all over the world. It was America that began the conversation to end it. Have you kids heard of William Lloyd Garrison?
No.
Nope.
He's an abolitionist like me, and he and I used to be friends, but we aren't any longer. We don't agree how to solve problems. William refuses all compromises, demands immediate change, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he likes to set things on fire.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds like you know the type.
Yeah, we've got that type in our time.
So, you're trying to work for change inside of the American system.
Precisely, Layla. Our system is wonderful.
And people like Garrison don't just want slavery abolished, but the whole American system?
That seems silly.
Well, your way is definitely better. It's the right way to get change. In our time, you're considered an American hero, and that other guy isn't really known.
Frederick Douglass again says, slavery happened worldwide. But this time, abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison is branded a radical, like modern protesters. The kids dismiss him as irrelevant. Across the clips, the pattern repeats. Harm justified as a lesser evil, blame shifted elsewhere, critics labeled as dangerous, and pride layered on top. Ask yourself, how does repeating slavery happened everywhere reshape the story? What happens when passionate voices are written off as unnecessary? And who benefits from framing protest as dangerous?
Pushes anti-LGBTQ+ and anti-diversity messaging, denies climate change, and is filled with misinformation and propaganda favoring right-wing ideology. But that makes sense since PragerU was founded by suspected white supremacist Dennis Prager, who complained about not being able to say the N-word in 2020. This is an example of their propaganda, which teaches that abolitionist and former enslaved person Frederick Douglass would have agreed with America's choice to prioritize white supremacy over ending slavery. In June,
these motherfuckers really canceled PBS, and now they trying to push this bullshit to our kids. Watch this shit.
Slavery is as old as time, and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
Y'all motherfuckers is really trying to put it in these kids' minds that being taken as a slave is better than being unalived. This the fucking bullshit that this administration wants to put out to the fucking world. Because we already know their fucking agenda. We know their agenda. I ain't gonna say it because TikTok probably gonna fucking shadow ban this or give me a violation or whatever. So I ain't gonna say what it is. But y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. I don't know what we gotta do to get this fucking show canceled, but we need to do a petition. We need to do something to get this fucking show canceled. Because this is some fucking bullshit. We don't need no kids hearing no bullshit like that. Like, what? Slavery is not okay. It never should have been okay. We don't give a fuck what people thought at that time. People thought some fucked up ass shit at that time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been slaves. But no, we ain't about to be damaging our kids' fucking minds with this type of bullshit. Bring PBS back. Now. We need Sesame Street. That's what our kids need. Not this racist bullshit y'all trying to push.
Somebody help me figure out what times we're living in, because I am so confused. We're teaching children that slavery was... And it was no big deal. It's just like, you know, chill. Like, it's just what we did back in the day. Like, it's not even that serious. And if you were really in that time period, you would want to be a slave too, is basically... No, I can't with this. I can't. Like, Christopher Columbus, and it really said, being a slave is better than being dead. Am I right? You know, no. And at this point, baby, do y'all know how many people jumped off the ship rather than be a slave? Like, be so for real. Like, you know how many people died on the way and just because of not wanting to be a slave? Like, this is so crazy to me. It's like we're living in a Black Mirror episode right now. I don't even know what to say. But I do know one thing. Y'all will do anything but teach real history to kids. Anything but teach the real history. And this is why racism exists. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments.
Thank you for watching my videos. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my videos. See you guys on my next video.